Hi everyone, we are from group 5. In this video, we are going to explain about how to answer questions regarding to a text. So we have to read the text first. The text is about why don't babies talk like adults? A reason it read advertisement shows a baby speaking directly to the camera. Look at this, he says. I'm a free man. I go anywhere I want now. He describes his stock buying activities and then his phone rings. This advertisement proves what comedians have known for years. Few things are as funny as a baby who talks like an adult. But it also raises an important question. Why don't young children express themselves clearly like adults? Many people assume children learn to talk by copying what they hear. In other words, they listen to the words adults use and the situation in which they use them and imitate accordingly. Behavior is the scientific approach that dominate American cognitive science for the first half of the 20th century made exactly this argument.
However, this copycat theory can't explain why toddlers aren't as conventional as adults. After all, you never hear literate adults express themselves in one-word sentence like battle or doggle. In fact, it's easy for scientists to show that copycat theory of language acquisition can't explain children's first words. What is hard for them to do is to explain these first words and how they fit into the language acquisition pattern. Over the past half-century, scientists have settled on two reasonable possibilities. The first of these is called the mental developmental hypothesis. It states that 1-year-olds speak in baby talk because their immature brains can't handle adult speech. Children don't learn to walk until their bodies are ready. Likewise, they don't speak multi-word sentences or use word endings and function words like "mommy opened the boxes" before their brains are ready. The second is called the stage of language hypothesis, which states that the stage of progress in child speech are necessary stage in language development. A basket player can perfect his or her jump shot before learning jump and shot. Similarly, children learn to multiply after they have learned to add. This is the order in which children are taught, not the reverse. There is evidence, for instance, that children don't usually begin speaking in two-word sentences until they've learned a certain number of single words. In other words, until they've crossed the linguistic threshold, the word combination progress doesn't get going. The difference between those theories is this: under the mental development hypothesis, language learning should depend on the child's age and level of mental development when he or she starts learning a language. Under the stage of language hypothesis, however, it shouldn't depend on such patterns, but only on the competition of previous stage.
In 2007, researchers at Harvard University who were studying the two theories found a clever way to test them. More than 20,000 international adopted children enter the last year. Many of them no longer hear their birth language after they arrive, and must learn English more or less the same way infants do, that is, by listening and by trial and error. International adopters don't take classes or use a dictionary when they are learning the new tongues, and most of them don't have a well-defined first language. All of these factors make them an ideal population in ways to test us counting hypotheses about how language is learned.
Neuroscientists Jesus Nedeker, Joy Guerin, and Carissa Shafto studied the language development of 27 children adopted from China between the ages of 2 and 5 years. These children began learning English at an older age than US natives and had more mature brains with which to tackle the task. Even so, just as with American-born infants, their first English sentences consisted of single words and were largely bereft of function words, word endings, and verbs. The adoptees then went through the same stages as a typical American-born children, albeit at a faster clip. The adoptives and native children started combining words and sentences when their vocabulary reached the same sizes, further suggesting that what matters is not how old you are or how mature your brain is, but the number of words you know. This finding that having more mature brains did not help the adoptees avoid the toddler talk stage suggests that babies speak in baby talk not because they have baby brains, but because they have only just started learning and need time to gain enough vocabulary to be able to explain their conversations. Before long, the one-word stage will give way to the two-word stage, and so on. Learning how to chat like an adult is a gradual process. But this potential answer also raises an even older and more difficult question. Adult immigrants who learn a second language rarely achieve the same proficiency in a foreign language as the average child raised as a native speaker. Researchers have long suspected there is a critical period for language development after which it cannot proceed with full success to fluency. Yet we still do not understand this critical period or know why it ends.
There are several questions regarding to the text. So I'll start with the first question. The first question is from exercise 3. The instruction told us to read the whole passage. And then the question is, when do children start talking in longer sentence? So, according to the paragraph 7, the adoptees and native children start combining words in sentence when their vocabulary reach the same size, further suggesting that what matters is not how old you are or how mature your brain is, but the number of words you know. So the key word is combining words. When you combine some words in sentence, you make the sentence get longer. So, the answer of the question, when do children start talking in longer sentence, is when their vocabulary reach the same size.
So now we move to the next exercise. So in this exercise, there are 4 statements that we have to decide whether the statements are in the paragraph or not. So this is the instruction. Look at the underlining in question 1 below, then read the first paragraph of the passage. What is the answer? Do the following statements agree with the claims of the writer in the reading passage? So we can write yes if the statement agrees with the claims of the writer. We can write no if the statement contradicts with the claims of the writer. We can write not given if it's impossible to say what the writer thinks about this. And we move to the statements. Remember to look at the underlining words. Statement number 1. People are extremely amused when they see a baby talk like an adult. After you read and understand the statement, you will go back to the paragraph 1 and see whether the statement is in paragraph 1 or not. In the paragraph 1, it says, "This advertisement proves what comedians have known for years. Few things are as funny as a baby who talks like an adult." So the answer for the statement 1 is yes, because the statement agrees with the claims of the writer, which is in the paragraph 1.
Question number 2. Early 22nd century behaviors argue the children learn to speak by imitating adults? The answer is yes, because the statement is in the second paragraph and is in the second to prove and confirm that the statement is yes and true. If the early 23rd century behaviors argue the children learn to speak by imitating adults. Question number 3. Children have more conversation with adults than children. The answer is not given because the text statement is not included in the text.
Number 4. Scientists have found it easy to work out why babies use one-word sentence. No, because in the paragraph 3, it is written that it's hard for them to do is to explain these first words. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you understand our explanation. And once again, thank you and goodbye.